The house had been empty for years, so when I saw the porch light flickered on one cold November evening, I paused. I was sure no one had moved in. No U-Haul, no real estate signs. Just darkness and cobwebs. But there it was, the faint amber glow of a light. I brushed it off. Maybe the landlord was doing maintenance. I locked my door and went to bed. Around 2 a.m., a sharp knock jolted me awake. Groggy and annoyed, I shuffled to the door and peered through the peephole. Nothing. Just the empty street and that dim porch light glowing next door. The knock came again, louder this time. My heart raced. "Who is it?" I called out, but no answer came. I didn't open the door. Instead, I crept to the window, pulling back the curtain just an inch. Standing in front of the house next door was a man. His back to me. He was tall, unnaturally thin, and wore a suit that looked decades old. He wasn't moving, just staring at the door of the empty house. I watched him for what felt like hours, but was probably only minutes. Then he turned, slowly, deliberately. His face was wrong, like someone had stretched skin too tightly over a skull that wasn't quite human. His hollow eyes locked onto mine. I stumbled back, my curtain falling closed. My phone trembled in my hands as I dialed 911, but the line went dead as soon as I pressed call. The knock came again, this time from the back door. I froze. My back door led to a fenced-in yard, impossible to access without coming through the house. I tiptoed to the kitchen, gripping the biggest knife I could find. The knocking stopped as suddenly as it had started, replaced by silence, so thick it pressed against my ears. Then I heard it, a faint scratching sound, like nails on wood, coming from the basement. I don't have a basement. My chest tightened as I realized the sound was coming from below me, beneath the floorboards. Slowly, I dropped to my knees and pressed my ear to the hardwood. The scratching stopped, and then a voice, raspy, wet, and barely a whisper. "You shouldn't have looked." The floorboards cracked beneath me, and everything went black. When I woke up, I was in the house next door. It was empty, just as I'd always thought. Except for the man in the suit, standing in the corner, watching me. He smiled. Now, the porch light is always on.